that how you can diagnose it, what are the treatment modalities available. Now we will discuss some specific tumors. First of all, we go through the benign bone tumors, and the most commonly find osteoid osteoma. It usually occurs between 2 to 3 decades of life. It usually means any age you can, which is most commonly second, third decades of life. Any bone of your body can be involved with this, either in the skull, either in the femur, pelvis, any bone can be, you can see involvement of osteoblastoma, but femur and tibia is more present in the femur and tibia. No malignant change has been documented till. If you are case of osteoblastoma, mostly is in benign tumor, never. Still there is no documentation is in favor of osteoblastoma converted to the malignant. So no malignant documentation. Pain worse at night. If the patient coming to you, pain, I have a pain in this eye or something else. But pain is more severe at night. But it subsided with aspirin or non-acidic, so most likely diagnosis is osteoblastoma. On X-ray, you can see it is small, less than 1 centimeter, less than 1.5 centimeter, less than 1.5 centimeter central nidus with surrounding bony stenosis. So you will find this picture in X-ray almost, and these two usually suffice to clinch the diagnosis in case of osteoblastoma. If any doubt, CT scan is being useful to identify, delineate the central nidus. Central nidus, it is more clearly seen, more clearly identified in CT scan. Microscopic evidence, fibrovascular tissue with immature bony tuberculi that are rimmed by prominent osteoblasts. Prominent osteoblast, in case of pathology, microscopically you can find it. What are the treatment modality? You can simply give the painkiller in the necessity of the so problem. If the pain is incapacitating or the pain is more severe, then you go for operation. So what kinds of operation you can do? You can do open surgical procedure. It must be complete internal lesional, completely lesion should be removed out. Whatever the lesion you see in this X-ray, should hold in toto, that area must be cool, nidus and all surrounding area must be removed, open surgically. This is the standard treatment. Present time, what is the standard treatment? The standard treatment is percutaneous radiofrequency ablation. Percutaneous radiofrequency ablation is the most advanced and appropriate treatment, and ideal treatment available. It is osteoblastoma. It is just like osteoid osteoma, but it occurs usually in epiphyseal areas. Epiphyseal area that occurs in diaphyseal or metaphyseal areas, osteoid osteoma. But it is in the epiphyseal area. It usually involves 10 to 30 years of age. Male is more affected. Usually it occurs in spines also. For 40 to 50% is involved the spine. Which area of the spine is the posterior element? It is the spinous process, lamina. These areas are only involved in this. Just like osteoblastoma, pain occurs In night, more severe, but subsided with aspirin or NSAID. On X-ray, you will find central nidus surrounding with radiolucent halo and reactive sclerosis. Usually, it is more than 2 centimeter. Osteoid osteoma, it is less than 1.5 centimeter, but usually it is more than 2 centimeter. Same X-ray and your clinical finding suffice to the diagnosis, but if you find some difficulties, you can add with this CT scan for nidus identification. Nidus identification is very clear in CT scan. Macroscopically, the same fibrovascular bony trabeculae lined by a single layer of osteoblast. Just like osteoid osteoma, you will find these groups. How it is to be treated? Extended curettage. And resection of the area, if it is more likely to be refracture after operation, so you put bone graft. Extended curettage, resection and bone grafting is the mode of treatment in case of osteoblastoma. Only main difference is the size and site. Size, it is more than 2. Osteoid osteoma is less than 1.5. It is in diaphysis, metaphysis. It involves the epiphyseal area and the spine. The spine, both osteoid osteoma and osteoblastoma, both occur in the spine, and also both are in the posterior ligament. So keep it in mind.
Yes, sir.
Osteoid osteoma and osteoblastoma, it is a bone forming tumor. Now we are discussing with the cartilage forming tumor. This is chondroma. Usually the hyaline cartilage is formed. Hyaline cartilage, this area is or chondroma. All age group can be affected. Phalanges of the hand is the most common area. Phalanges of the hand is the most common area. Most common tumor of hand and feet. What is the most common tumor of bone tumor? The most common bone tumor of hand and feet is chondroma. Normally it is asymptomatic. You may find unrelated radiogram. You have X-rayed for the fracture, X-rayed for the injury, X-rayed for something else, but you find there is a lesion. So it is usually unrelated radiograph because of asymptomatic in nature. If it is found in medullary canal, then it is called inchondroma. If it is found in the medullary canal, it is called inchondroma. It can be periosteal chondroma. It can be juxta-articular chondroma. Multiple inchondromatosis, also known as Colliers disease. Multiple. It can be solitary, it can be multiple. If it can be multiple, it is called Colliers disease. If this multiple inchondromatosis plus you find hemangioma in your body, then it is called Meffusi syndrome. 25% of Colliers disease converted into the sarcomatous changes by 40 years of age. Malignant growth is very high in multiple inchondromatosis. In X-ray, what you find? Intralesional calcification within the lesion, appearance like popcorn appearance, expansion of the overlying cortex. You will find. CT scan is more helpful to delineate the picture. Macroscopically, what do you find? There is hyaline cartilage. It is hypercellular in nature. If hypercellularity increases, means sarcomatous changes occurs. It is a hyaline cartilage. You find hyaline cartilage and hypercellular. How you treat? Observation with serial radiograph. Just see. This is in chondroma. Solitary chondroma rarely converted into the malignant transformation. So you can serial radiograph is yes, you can see if there is changes. If there is some changes, you find the size becoming bigger. There is a cortical destructions. You find Then you go for other treatment. So the metastasis is going on. So serial X-ray and observation is an important mode of treatment. If find, you go for extended curettage, and if needed, you can do bone grafting also. Extended curettage and bone grafting may be needed. Bone grafting may be needed. Osteochondroma. Osteochondroma basically is not a bone tumor. Basically, it is a developmental malformation. It originates within the periosteum as a small cartilage nodule, but it grows with the age. When the skeletal maturity becomes complete, growth of this tumor stops. If growth of this tumor continue after a skeletal maturity, you might suspect is going towards malignant changes. It's very rare, but if you observe this is continuing to grow after skeletal maturity, it might be malignant growth is there. So you might be conscious. Normally, it stops at the skeletal maturity. Polyphy is a bony mass. It may be pedunculated or sessile. Pedunculated having a stalk, and that stalk finally is covered by the cartilaginous cap. So you feel the bone, there is a peduncle stalk covered with the cartilaginous cap. So this bony hard mass, you feel 90% it is a single lesion. 90% it is a single lesion. Normally it is in the metaphysis. Which area is involved? It is metaphyseal area, most commonly involved, mostly in the distal femur, proximal tibia and proximal humerus. In other places you can have this tumor, but normally it is found in the distal femur, proximal tibia and proximal humerus. It may be of multiple site, multiple exhaustosis. You may find some cases it is autosomal dominant with variable penetrance. How X-ray is usually clinical finding will be only hard mass ejecting from the ends of the bones. So normally clinical finding is sufficient. If you have any spot, you can find an X-ray is a bony outgrowth from the part. So normally it is inclusive. It is a clear case of this. But the treatment, normally observation is the only treatment of this case, because it will stop at the time of skeletal maturity. So observation is sufficient. Sometimes if the pain increases due to if the underlying structure, underlying vessel, underlying something is so prominent, so blood vessel is compressed, your nerve tissue is compressed, then you might or some difficulty in mobility. It outgrowth is going this way, so it can have a difficulty in the mobility of the joint. So the mobility of the joint is impaired. If pain is severe, if there is some other problem of bone compression of the bone vessel, only then you need operation. And that what operation? You need resection of the tumor. Resection of the tumor. Complete resection of the tumor. This stops something else. It's no problem at all. Very rarely this forming a structure. This is for the cosmetic region, especially for girls in the middle age. In some cases you need this resection. So this is osteochondroma.
Yes.
Unicameral bone cyst. It is also known as simple bone cyst. Simple bone cyst. It is a developmental lesion. It is not just a tumor. It is not a tumor, it is a developmental lesion. 85% is occurred within the first 2 years of age. First 2 years of age, 85% of simple bone cyst occurs. Male female ratio is 2:1. Male is no prominence. Any bone can be affected with this, but proximal humerus and femur is more common. In adult, you may find ileum and calcaneum also. Most active during this tumor is very active during the skeletal growth, skeletal activity. When the child is growing, it is also growing. When the growth stops, it also stops. Just like osteochondromas. Just like osteochondromas. Usually it is asymptomatic. Incidental finding you may find for the other problems you are in the X-ray, and you find some lesion is there. It is a simple bone cyst. You may find this tumor after injury. This is fracture. After fracture, you may find the patient is having some injury or get fracture. You find it's not a simple fracture. It is a pathological fracture. There is a bone cyst is there. Normally, what you do? You do nothing. Just observe and inspect the fracture, and it usually heals. After fracture, this bone cyst normally heals. This bone tumors normally heals after fracture. How it's seen in X-ray? It is centrally located. Centrally within. बात करना चाहते हैं तो बाद में बात करते रहेगा. Centrally located. If you see in the X-ray, this is centrally located in the bone, medullary cavity. Cystic lesion, purely cystic lesion, well-defined margin. Margin is well-defined. It expands the cortex, but concentrically. It is not eccentric. It is concentric. It is centered in nature, centrally located, central in nature. So expand concentrically, not eccentrically. Multi-located. It is a multi-located tumor. So many localization is there. Fallen fragment sign. Fallen fragment sign is pathognomic of this bone cyst. Fallen fragment sign. Some you find some fragment get fractured and dipped into the cyst. So fallen fragment sign is the pathognomic of this bone cyst. Normally they start at metaphysis but goes to the diaphysis. It starts with the metaphysis, goes to the diaphysis, averting the epiphysis. Normally, how we treat this case? Observation is simple. You do nothing. No, not worry. If you find this case of pulmonary cyst, don't worry. Go ahead. Serial observation and serial radiograph. Again, serial radiograph. Come and see it is growing or not. Normally, if it is fracture or the bigger cyst, splintage is needed. If it is not subsided, it is not included, then you go for intralesional steroid injection. Usually methylprednisolone. 3 injections is sufficient. 80 to 200 milligram. It is given. 3 injections is sufficient. Intralesional, 90% cases it subsided by steroid injection. If not, after 3 injections, if not, you can go for curettage and bone grafting. Curettage and bone grafting. Cystic lesion is aneurysmal bone cyst. In short, you can say AEC, AVC. It is a locally destructive tumor. filled with bone, filled with blood. It is filled with blood, reactive lesion of the bone. Any bone can be involved in this tumor, but most common is proximal humerus, distal femur, and proximal tibia. A spine, especially posterior area. It is usually above 20 years of age, less than 20 years of age normally. Female prevalence, more common in female. It has mild to moderate pain. If in case of mild to moderate pain, if you find, then you go for X-ray. If you find expansile lytic lesion that elevate the posterior periosteum but remain contained within the thin cell of cortical bone, well-defined margin, especially in metaphyseal region. Suppose this is a tumor, this is bone. Suppose this is tibia. This is tibia. This is normally it is eccentric lesion. Basically, it is an eccentric lesion. This is metaphyseal lesion, eccentric lesion. Eccentric lesion. It just elevate the periosteum, but this thin cell of periosteum bone is there. Thin cell, very thin cell of bone is there. Very thin cell of bone is there. Must contain this thin cell of bone is there. Thin cell of bone is there. So it is usually eccentric in nature, but simple bone system is centrally located. It is basically centrally located. It is eccentrically located. It is eccentric in nature. Eccentric in nature. ABC eccentric in nature. Simple bone system is centrally located. Centrally located. It develops like this. Centrally look. This is conceptually, but it this like this. Eccentrically. It's concentrically. It is centrally located. It is eccentrically located. It is in metaphysis. It is also in metaphysis. But it can also give rise to diaphysis. It is not to diaphysis also. But basically, it is metaphyseal region, metaphyseal cyst, both simple bone cyst and visible bone cyst. Well defined margin. Margin is well defined. Margin is well defined. This is not a clear cut border is there. Clear cut border is there. Well defined margin. It can occur primarily, this annual bone cyst can occur de novo primarily, or it can occur secondarily to the GCT, osteoblastoma, chondroblastoma. In case of chondroblastoma, it rises in the chondroblastoma ABC. This is which form. In case of osteoblastoma, cystic form. So ABC cyst can fall in GCT, osteoblastoma, or chondroblastoma, or it might be simply ABC bone cyst. It might be. Macroscopically, it is a hemorrhagic cyst tissue. If you secret clot, what is found? It is a hemorrhagic tissue, hemocytic laden macrophage. You can find. How can you treat? This treatment is basically extended curettage and bone grafting. Extended curettage and bone grafting. But sometimes it's so severe. Bleeding is so severe, it is very difficult. You have to put on this patient to put on the blood transfusion. So you might need blood transfusion. So before jumping to the operation for this annual bone cyst, you must have blood arrangement for blood transfusions. So must arrange for blood transfusion at least two units of blood before jumping to the operation for this annual bone cyst. So especially in the difficult areas like a spine, something else, so where you cannot put some pressure things is there. So in that communicative, you cannot difficult to apply the spine. So in that area, it is advisable to start with pre-operative embolization. The artery which is supplying this tissue, supplying this cyst, that artery should be immobilized before operation, and then you go for Puritan bone grafting. This is the treatment modality of renal bone cyst. Giant cell tumor. It is also called simply GCT, giant cell tumor. It is 5% of bone neoplasm. It occurs basically between the 20 to 40 years of age. More predilection towards the female. Female more affected than male. Common sites are distal femur, proximal tibia, and distal radius. Not femur, distal radius. Pain may occur in early stage after activity. After activity, pain increases, but in late case, pain occur with rest also. While patient is in rest, having pain. In late case, at early stage, only in activity. Only after activity, pain increases. X-ray, what's that? Eccentric lesion. It is an eccentric lesion purely like epiphyseal area of the lung. It is found in the epiphyseal area of the lung. This is metaphysis. This is physis. And this is epiphysis. This area is involved. This area is involved. This area is involved. So eccentric lesion, just like ABC, it is eccentric lesion. ABC is in metaphyseal area. It is in the epiphyseal area. It is in the epiphyseal area. Purely lactic. Purely lactic. It is found in like in soap bubble appearance. Soap bubble. So many sectors within this. So many sectors also you find. So this is a soap bubble appearance. You find eccentric lesion, lactic lesion, eccentric lesion, epiphyseal area, soap bubble appearance. It is diagnostic of GCT. It is diagnostic simply. This finding is sufficient to diagnose giant cell tumor. But go for biopsy or microscopic feature. Perform what you found. Many you find many multinucleated giant cell, typically 40 to 60 nuclei per cell. In each cell you are having multinucleated giant cell, 40 to 60 nuclei per cell you find in a sea of mononuclear stromal cells. So many mononuclear stromal cells, in between you find so many giant cell. So there are so many giant cell type tumors in the bone, but must confirm by your pathologist it is a giant cell or giant cell like tumor. If it is a giant cell like tumor, it may not be giant cell tumor. So must confirm from your pathologist it is a giant cell tumor or not. So how can they identify? These are the things. The nuclei of mononuclear giant cells are identical to the nuclei of giant cells. This is very important. Nuclei of mononuclear giant cells are identical to the nuclei of giant cell. In case of giant cell tumor, this is a specific of giant cell tumor. Second more thing is, this is locally aggressive tumor. This is a locally aggressive tumor. So giant cell tumor is basically not a benign tumor. It is a benign tumor. It is included in the benign tumor, but basically it is not a benign tumor. Giant cell never occurs in the inactive state. If it is giant cell, it is active state. It is a giant cell tumor. It is a active state. It's not a latent state. So latent state falls in this case. So active state always remains in active state. So it's locally aggressive tumor. So treat it accordingly. So it may find it is this like a picture, but may be aggressive. It's very fast locally aggressive. So it can break the cortex also. But there is no periosteal reaction. But no periosteal reaction. But cortical break is there. If cortical break is there, you must suspect it might be locally aggressive tumor, locally malignant tumor. So treat it accordingly. So always, if you find there is something break in the continuity of the cortex, you must X-ray the chest also, chest X-ray or chest X-ray or CT in chest is also important to identify that any metastasis is there or not. So this is very important. This is locally aggressive tumor. How you treat this? Basically, curettage and bone grafting. Curettage and bone grafting. You may add only cement also, bone graft, curettage, do the curettage and pack with the bone graft or by the cement depending upon the situations and treating surgeon's choice and morbidity of the patient, age of the patient. These are the factors you have to get in consideration. Before packing the cavity by the bone graft or bone cement, and we are using the Burr electrocautery, phenol, argon beam laser or liquid nitrogen to destroy the local tumor. Whatever the you have curated the tissue of the bone, but after all might be some macroscopic tissue left behind. So that macroscopic tissue must be dyed by the add of phenol, liquid nitrogen, electrocautery. And after treating with these, we put the bone graft or bone cement.
Yes, sir.
Now comes to Ewing tumors or known as Ewing sarcoma. Ewing sarcoma. Ewing tumor or Ewing sarcoma. It is the fourth most common primary malignant bone tumor. It is the fourth most common primary malignant bone tumor. The first one is metastasis. Second is osteosarcoma. Third is multiple myeloma. And fourth is Ewing sarcoma. This is the fourth most common primary malignant bone tumor. After metastasis, metastatic tumor, osteosarcoma and multiple myeloma. This is the second most common tumor below 30 years because this metastatic tumor or multiple myeloma usually occur after 40 years of age. So below 30 years of age, the second most common after osteosarcoma. But if you go more than less than 10 years of age, less than 10 years of age, it is the most common primary malignant bone tumor within 10 years of age. So this is very important to know. Less than 1%, this is not so important. That it is occurring in the diaphyseal age. Is it diaphyseal age? Other thing, the metaphyseal, biphyseal you have seen, this is basically diaphyseal lesion. Flat bone can also be involved. It is diaphyseal lesions. This is diaphyseal. This is metaphyseal lesion. This is diaphyseal lesion. Diaphyseal lesion can occur in diaphysis. It can occur in diaphyseal lesion. The flat bone rare. It is very rare in African descent. It is very rare in African descent. What are the features you find? Clinical feature? Pain, almost always. Each case of pain and osteosarcoma, this is case of Ewing sarcoma, you must have pain. You must find patient is complaining of pain, fever, swelling. Pain, fever, swelling, just like osteomyelitis. Very high fever, pain, severe pain, swelling is there. So you might confuse with the osteomyelitis. It is case of osteomyelitis or it is case of Ewing sarcoma. You get confused. Even you do the needle aspiration, the aspirate material resembles like a pus. Again confusion. If it is not looking like a pus, you may sometimes diagnose it as. But if it resembles like a pus, that's very difficult. It's just like it is a chronic osteomyelitis or this is a case of Ewing tumor. X-ray, what you find in X-ray? The X-ray, that is a destructive lesion in diaphyseal region. Diaphyseal region area, there is a bony destruction. Cortical break is there. Cortical break is there. Normally in chronic osteomyelitis, you don't find cortical break. In case of chronic osteomyelitis, you cannot find this cortical break. But in Ewing sarcoma, usually you find cortical break. Not only that, cortical break, just like chronic osteomyelitis, there is a periosteal reaction. There is a periosteal reaction is there. Periosteal reaction is there. Just like this, periosteal reaction is there. You find some bone is there. Some bone is there, periosteum get elevated. In case of Ewing sarcoma, there is multiple layer of you find multiple layer of these elevations of the periosteum. So multiple layers of bone get involved, get involved. So multiple, so it's on just like onion peel it is. This is onion peel. Well, says onion, you are giving peel. So just like that, onion peel appearance at the periphery, at the periosteal level. So if you find actually there is a cortical break, with multiple layers of periosteal reaction, is really diagnosis in favor of this. But in chronic osteomyelitis, also you might find periosteal reaction. Even in the early stage, only one periosteal reaction is there, only one layer is there. It might be chronic osteomyelitis or it might be Ewing sarcoma. That's what how the diagnosis will rest. The diagnosis will based on biopsy. Diagnosis will based on biopsy. How will you treat this case? Normally, Ewing sarcoma is a radiosensitive tumor. Ewing sarcoma is usually a radiosensitive tumor. So you might send this patient to the oncologist, and there it will be radiated, or might be some chemotherapy or radiation, and give some limb salvage surgery also there. Normally, amputation is the answer if it is not metastasis to the lungs or somewhere else. So amputation might be one answer. So in the area of limb salvage, so bone tumor specialist go for with the help of consultation with the parents and go for limb salvage surgery. So these radiation, amputation, limb salvage surgery, these are the modality of treatment in case of Ewing sarcoma or Ewing tumor.
Yes.
Osteosarcoma. Osteosarcoma is the second most common primary malignant bone tumor. In this case, this case from the osteoid. Osteoid formation, osteoid production is very high in this case. It can occur at any age, secondary case. Secondary osteosarcoma, especially found in elderly individuals. Male, more predominance towards the male. Common site, distal femur, proximal tibia and proximal humerus. Common site, distal femur, proximal tibia and proximal humerus. Most common feature starts with pain. This tumor starts with pain and progressively increases the pain. Sometimes it get improved, pain get improved. So you will find once, oh, pain is nothing, so not worry to that. But it is false impression. Again it occurs. So progressive pain, normally the swelling, before swelling you start with the pain. After pain, 1 or 2 months you find there is swelling. So progressive pain, start with the pain. First of all, patient complain of pain, but no swelling is there. But you do the X-ray, you find there is a big lytic lesion is in metaphyseal lesions. So night pain is metaphyseal. It is mostly found in the metaphysis, but it can occur in diaphysis and epiphysis also. It can be in two stages, last phase or lactic phase. Last phase means formation of bone. But the fast break is a lactic lesion. You find lactic lesion. So you find variegate consistency in this case. You find very hard is there, very soft is there. Very hard is there, very soft is there. So variegate consistency you find in this osteosarcoma you find. On X-ray you find there is a cortical break is there. Cortex get broken. Just like Ewing sarcoma, cortex get broken. If there is a cortical break, you must suspect it is case of malignant tumor, malignant transformation. You must. So cortical break is there, and you find Codman's triangle. You find sunburst appearance. Just before we have talked about this. So if you find cortical break, Codman's triangle, sunburst appearance, then you might be suspected case of osteosarcoma. If any doubt, you can go for biopsy. Treatment is limb salvage or amputation. Limb salvage or amputation is the only answer of this patients. Thank you.